I got to experience the Artemis Splashdown while here at NEAF, and we all, there's just talking about it gives me goosebumps because
everybody's cheering. It was like the Super Bowl. We're like, oh my God!
So I'm here at the Stellarvue booth at the NEAF 2026, and I'm here with Vic Maris. We've talked many times over the past few years, but I'm also here with Bob MacArthur, which Bob and I were just talking. We're both teachers, so
right, education.
Yes, and Vic, I just want to say before we get started how amazing it's been over the years to work with you as an educator. You've done so much for the educational community, and Bob and I were just discussing that. So thank you for that.
I mean, that's what we're here for, really. I mean, we have an educational discount at Stellarvue, so for schools, for colleges, for professors, starving professors, you know how that is.
All of us.
I'm the father of one, so I understand that. And so we're all about the education, and so it's really great to be able to offer these at a substantial discount for organizations that are involved in education. So that's kind of an important thing. So Bob here, as many of our Stellarvue customers know, does our monthly In the Sky.
Yeah, man.
Tell us a little bit about that.
The big thing about In the Sky is, we have an amazing stellar crew, an amazing group of people who use Stellarvue telescopes. But it's not just that. Once you become part of the stellar crew, you're part of the family, and we want everybody to look up at the night sky. Not just people who have Stellarvue telescopes, but anybody who has a telescope, or anybody just looking up, because there's so much to look at. Every month, there's new things. So what we do is we just want to talk about, here's what's going on in the sky this month. What things can you see with your eyes? What things can you see with your telescopes? Maybe some new things you can do some astro imaging with, or just new visual observations you've never been.
Or outreach.
Outreach is amazing too. So outreach, obviously being an educator, is huge. I try and get my students to look through telescopes. We do virtual star parties with our school. It's just getting people to do astronomy, and the more people we can get to do astronomy, that's where our hobby or our profession gets out more to the masses.
Right, and the quality of the Stellarvue, it's really a vehicle to not even having to worry about the scope anymore. It's not even about the equipment anymore, it's about the experience, and the telescope just kind of blends off into the background because the views feel like you're in outer space, like it truly does.
I think that's the thing, is the experience. We want our customers, but also people that just love astronomy, to have an experience, because that's what it is. Whether the first time you look through a telescope at Jupiter or Saturn or the moon, and then that grabs you. That's that experience. I think we can all remember the first time we looked through a telescope.
Close my eyes and see it. Yes,
yeah, exactly.
It burns into your memory.
Yep.
Yeah, one of the things I love about coming to NEAF is I'll have 2 or 3 dozen customers come up to me and shake my hand and just say, I just want to thank you again, for that. And I get it, because I've been an amateur astronomer all my life. I've been inspired by the night sky, and I understand what they're saying. What they're conveying to me is that the scope got out of the way, and they had that interaction with I remember one of my customers said that when he looks through a Stellarvue telescope, his eyes relax. And I thought that was very interesting, because there aren't the aberrations.
Never thought about it, but now that you say that, I feel like it's definitely true.
I think what's really cool is Stellarvue as a family, the stellar crew and all that, but also astronomy as a family.
Yeah. Right.
And I've heard that about NEAF. This is actually my first NEAF, so this is really
wow,
fun.
okay.
Yeah, this is great.
Well, congratulations
but also
on
just
that.
seeing the community.
Yeah.
We have Stellarvue and we have other companies here, but it's just like the community that is the astro community, and it's growing. You have the next generation coming up, and as educators and as various companies, how do we bring that next group in? How do we inspire that next group of whether it's astronomy researchers, astronomy photographers, hobbyists, or even astronauts?
Yes.
So we're living in such a cool time right now. Unbelievable time.
Yeah, I was just talking about that with a few of the other people here about, I got to experience the Artemis Splashdown while here at NEAF, and we all, there's just talking about it gives me goosebumps because
everybody's cheering. It was like the Super Bowl. We're like, oh my God!
Right. I mean, but seriously though, the parachutes deployed, and it was like visceral. You could feel the energy in the room and the tension, and then they popped the drogue chutes, and okay, I'm a little bit less worried. And then finally those main parachutes came open, and then they were sitting there for a while, and you were like, oh no, and then finally they completely deployed, and finally, it means so much. Not only are the astronauts safe, but the program now has a good start to it, and that's so important. I'm talking about kids, talking about education and my own children, to know that they're growing up in a time when we're once again reaching farther. There's goals again. There's an aim, a direction, and they get to see and feel this experience for themselves. Because that's one thing I've always felt like I never got the chance to see the moon landings. And
me same. So this is exciting for me too, because I never got to see any of the moon landings.
I'm jealous that the kids today get to see it when they're little, and they can take that energy and run with it.
Well, all last week in my classroom, I was telling my students that the moon looks different to me now.
Oh yeah.
And then when I show them the moon through the telescope, and I show them pictures of the moon that I've taken, and I show them the pictures the Artemis crew's taking, we're having this experience together. We're having this experience together with the Artemis crew, with your classroom. We're looking at the moon together. It's unbelievable.
Not only are we seeing it differently in the future, but I think it also puts into a perspective in the past, because humans have been looking up at the moon and wondering forever.
Right.
And it's always been a destination that always just seems too far. And we have been to the moon, but we feel like we've lost something again, and maybe we can regain that and take that next step.
Well, there's quite a few astronauts that are speaking at NEAF this year, and they all kind of have that same excitement that we're going back. That feeling of and they're part of it too. They're part of the astronaut corps. They're part of it's.
Yeah, I had a chance to speak with Don Pettit right afterward,
Cool.
And we were talking about, just looking at the Earth from above and what you can see, and the detail that he said, even just as I asked him, I said, are you able to see some of these images he has, beautiful images, are you actually able to see that with your eyes, or is that only when you're looking through a camera? He said, no, you can see it with just your eyes. The detail is unbelievable
what
from
a
orbit.
remarkable opportunity. It's just amazing. It's a kind of a dream for those of us who are really, who really nerd out on this stuff, and that's the thing. That's the thing about all the vendors here, is that most of us are amateur astronomers. That's how we started, and so we all have this thing in common, and we come together here at NEAF, and it's a real opportunity for us to do that. So glad we could introduce Bob to NEAF this year. I knew he had to come to NEAF, and it's been really great being here with him, because he's always an inspiration.
I love it. Yeah.
So thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Vic. It's amazing.
Great job on your channel.
Thank you.
Yep. Absolutely.
If you're still watching and like videos like this one, please consider to like, subscribe, and share this video to help us bring the universe even closer than you think.